Sean and Sonia Schindler of Galesville tried for years to have a baby before turning to adoption in January of 2004. Unfortunately, not long after, they were devastated by the news that the baby they'd been matched with died in utero just weeks before it was due to be born. But they never, ever let their dream of becoming parents go. This morning, the conclusion of this special In Search of adoption story.
Unless you've been in the unlucky shoes of a couple struggling to have a baby, the emptiness is almost impossible to describe.
Everything kind of goes through your head at that point, and maybe we weren't meant to be parents. Maybe we were meant to do other things.
But deep down inside, Sean and Sonia were determined to make parenthood a reality. 1 year after the loss of the baby they'd planned to adopt, they were matched again, this time to a little girl in Guatemala.
I knew as soon as I saw her, she was ours.
They chose the name Kayla and started making plans to bring her home. But trouble followed almost immediately. First, the Michigan adoption agency they'd been going through was shut down for fraud and racketeering. Then, a bill was in the works that would freeze adoptions between Guatemala and the United States.
At this point, you think nothing good is ever going to happen.
Blow kisses to Daddy.
Throughout the next year, the Schindlers would make several trips to visit Kayla, each time facing a new setback, each time leaving empty-handed.
There was many days that I think we both would just sit and cry and feel like it was never going to happen, and we had family and friends that helped you get through, and then you could pick up the pieces and begin your fight again.
This past February, there was one last chance to make it happen. 3 days where any outstanding adoptions would need to be registered, or else they were deemed null and void, and they would only take a handful of cases.
And if your case was not registered, your adoption was done. So we spent the whole weekend sitting at the computer making phone calls with our attorneys, crying a lot, because we didn't know. Got to Monday morning, she emailed and said, "We got you registered." It was just the best feeling.
In August, Sean and Sonia flew to Guatemala for a 5th and final time. But unlike previous visits,
we were bringing her home.
She was coming home.
We left on August 9th, and we got Kayla brought to us on August 10th. And she was ours forever. Ready, set, go! We always would sit here some nights and say, can you just imagine her running around here? And it didn't seem possible. It didn't seem like it was ever going to happen. And now she runs around like she's been here her whole life.
11 years is longer than most to wait for a child. And because of that, they don't take a single minute of this precious gift for granted.
We can't get home from work fast enough. Now I can't imagine our lives without her.
It was worth the wait.
We've gone through more than many people can dream of to have a family, and we talk about it every once in a while, and we do it all over again. As crazy as it sounds, we would do it all over again, because we've given her a good life, and she's completed ours.
In Galesville, Jennifer Livingston, News Channel 8.
You know, you think about, it took 20 months to get Kayla back to the United States. They never gave up hope. They went there so many times, continued to push the paperwork through. And as you heard the Schindlers say, they would do it all over again if they had to. And in fact, they probably will do it again. Sean and Sonia actually have already contemplated giving Kayla a little brother or a sister. And, you know, after the ordeal that they went through this time, we are just hoping that if they do, in fact, go through a second adoption, that it will be smooth sailing for them.
Smoother this time,
And by the way, if you missed any of the 3-part series on the Schindlers, you can catch it on our website. Go to WKBT.com, click on the Best of link, and you will find the stories there. We're going to take a break right now. Coming up next, Another check on your weekend forecast. We'll be right back.